Hi everybody. Well, it looks like I got myself an authentic piece of PACCAR body panel here. Nice, beautifully formed piece of plastic that fell off my brand new Kenworth T680 a week or two back. I want to tell you a story about it. My name's Kevin. I'm an OTR solo driver for CRETE Carrier, and you're watching The Joy of Trucking. Hit that subscribe button, grab yourself a drink, and I want to tell you about this. This happened a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to ask if any of you have had the same experience, because the circumstances seem a little questionable, you know. This piece comes from right in front of where you fill the fuel tank on the driver's side. And one day I stopped to put fuel in and noticed that just the end of it was kind of sticking out a little bit from the rest of the body panels. Well, that's kind of weird, but you can't really see behind it or anything. I wasn't sure if it, you know, I could just push it back in place and it would be okay or whatever. So I just left it, you know, gave it a little push. And the next time I went to fill up, it was barely hanging on. It was sitting way out. So if you look at the inside of it here, you can see this tab and this one over here. So that's where it was bolted on to the metal bracket that attaches to the frame of the truck. It looks like it's completely smashed or snapped off there. And then you have these small tabs like this one here, right? Which is just like a little push in, you know, and it clips and snaps into place or whatever. But it looks to me like there were 5 of them. There was one up here, one here, one here, one here, all gone, like totally snapped off, and the only one left was this. So when I actually finally decided it had to come off, or it would be on the highway somewhere, this little tab was the only thing holding it on. The rest of it was just kind of flopping there. Yeah, it's kind of mysterious. Is it wind turbulence that kind of shook this thing loose, or too many potholes on the road, or did somebody maybe grab the end of it and yank on it, you know, and then maybe the airflow or whatever did the rest of the work. This one tab was on the forward edge toward the front of the truck, so it started coming loose at the back. So that wasn't from the wind getting in underneath it and starting to peel it off. You know what I mean? That's what seems a little strange to me. Let's go take a look at where it goes. All right, so here's the piece in position. You can see there's the fuel cap and the def. So this is the driver's side of the truck, right? And like I said, one day I stopped to get fuel and just noticed that it was just a little bit off like that, right? Just kind of hanging out a little bit at the back end. Couldn't figure out why or what had happened or what was holding it on. But the next time I stopped for fuel, it was just kind of like that. And you can see it fits in here by this other piece. So it's kind of a continuous airflow. And like I said, the only thing holding it on was that little tab right there stuck in that hole. So I don't see any sign of, you know, damage, or it got caught on something, or something maybe hit it on the road. I don't see any marks anywhere else on the fairing. And you can see this is the stud, right, where it was bolted on here, and here's the other one. So you can see the pieces remaining that were on the fairing. So yeah, comments down below, let me know what you think. So while we're having a chat, Anya tells me there's a couple of questions that keep coming up, things that people want to know. First of all, why do I have like 3 GPSs going on in the truck all the time here? Well, look, the first one I use is the company's, right? They have the in-cab device. It's a tablet. It comes with the co-pilot navigation system, and we had the same one with Werner when we drove for them for a year, and I didn't really trust it. It steered me wrong too many times, and some tricky situations there came up because of the co-pilot. So I went out and bought myself an 8-inch GARMIN, and I really like this. It displays a lot of information. I've got it right in front of me here, just above the steering wheel. I can put on I can set different information to show in the little boxes down at the bottom, like elevation, distance to the destination, time to the destination, how steep the grade is that you're on, time of day, sunrise, sunset, all kinds of stuff. There's a ton of information there. and you can program it to show you certain things in the windows. The directions are very clear and concise, and it takes voice commands. It does all kinds of cool stuff. Now, this is another Garmin that I got, and it's only 7 inches, but it's got a dash cam. So we can record what's going on out the windshield of the truck. Voice command, or you push a button on it saying, Garmin, save this video, and it'll save a 30-second video that you can download later. Plus it loads, you know, it records all day, but then it just overwrites that part. But the stuff that you tell it to save is in a separate folder, so I can put all that on my computer. Tanya can take clips of that and put it up on the channel and stuff like that. And again, it's a really good navigation system, good display, lots of information, easy to program. I got this because I really like this dash cam, and I like the 8-inch that I bought as well because it's a little bit bigger and easier to see the display. So that's kind of why I have two going at the same time. And I also have to admit, I use my phone as another navigation tool, because with the Trucker Path app, I can see places coming up where I might want to stop, or, you know, I can see if there's problems with traffic ahead. It'll show me if there's a slowdown and stuff like that. And the Garmin too shows you places up ahead, like way stations and rest stops and, you know, truck stops and things like that. That's all good stuff too. But I like to have on my phone the Trucker Path. When I'm trip planning, I can see where, you know, I can plan stops in. I can have it sitting there and running while I'm driving. It'll show me if there's an obstruction in traffic up ahead. Just more information. I like the gadgets, I like the technology, and I want to know as much as I can, you know. Get all that information coming at you while you're driving. Second thing now, she said, people are asking about the chocolate I eat. I like dark chocolate. I don't like milk chocolate. I don't like peach or orange flavored chocolate. I don't like chocolate light. I don't like chocolate maybe. I like really intense chocolate. So I eat cacao nibs. Every now and then I'll throw a bunch, you know, like they're all ground up little chunks of actual cocoa in its rawest, dried out form. So it's a good hit of caffeine. It's a little flavor. It's something to just nibble while you're driving. That's a good thing. If I go buy chocolate in a store, I'll get like 90% pure, okay? Because I don't want a lot of sugar. I don't want milk. I don't want false, you know, like weird flavoring. As little emulsifier in there as possible. I just want pure chocolate because I don't drink coffee, all right? I don't want to eat a lot of candy and get a lot of sugar and stuff like that. But I do like that sort of caffeine kick, you know? At Walmart, I found these. Tanya said they're a really good deal, and I compared the price because I like to buy the Lindt chocolate too. And this chocolate actually has a little bit less sugar and is a little bit lower price. So this is the chocolate I'd buy. And I'll snap off a couple of pieces as my sort of daily reward. If I, like, when I complete a load, you know, I drop off the trailer and do all the paperwork, and then we're going to set off on the next one. I'll like, here's my little treat in the middle of the day.
Hey Kevin.
Yeah.
Why are you all excited?
Because I've delivered my load, and now it's time for chocolate.
You work for chocolate, do you?
I will work for chocolate. And it, because of the caffeine, it gives you a little pick-me-up, you know, so you get through the rest of the day. I got to really be careful with this stuff, though. I cannot eat this after like 5 o'clock in the afternoon because it will affect my sleep during the night, and I don't want that. I want to be rested and sharp, and I don't want to be tossing and turning all night. So for anybody who wants to know, that's the chocolate I buy. That's the chocolate that keeps Ramblin' Rose moving steady through the day and keeps me smiling. All right, that's all for now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up, and let's see your comments down below. Tanya reads every single one of them, okay? She knows everything you guys are writing. She tries to respond as much as possible to them, and I really encourage her. I'm proud of her. She does a really good job with that. So go ahead and write something down there, and she's going to read it. And don't forget that notification bell too, so you know when the next video is coming out. All right, bye for now. See you down the road.